Hey guys, how you doing today? It is about 9 something a.m. on a Sunday, which is ridiculous for me to be up, but I lost footage yesterday and I'm so bummed about it. It's just driving me nuts that I have to refilm today. I'm gonna do something totally different because I don't know, I'll get bored if I do the same thing. But yeah, this is going to be a chatty get ready with me, and since most people don't know a lot about lupus, I'm just going to quickly tell you my story, well, as long as it takes to get ready. Tell you my story of how I was diagnosed and I guess how it affected me, like in the start. So, anyway, let's just get started. I've already primed my face and my eyes. I've done all my skin prep. I actually posted a video. As of this going up, it will be 2 days ago, of my morning / pre-makeup skincare routine. So that'll be up there if you want to see it. I will also throw it up in the cards and link it in the description box. But yeah, let's just get started. Since I already have primer on, all I need to do now is find my sponge, which I think I may have left in the bathroom. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Yes, that's exactly what I did. I left my favorite Flower Beauty sponge, which I talked about in my 2017 favorites. It got a lot bigger now that it's wet. It's just the best sponge ever. It's dirty. I didn't wash it since yesterday, but it's not like horrible. This purple is the purple it's supposed to be. It's just the bottom is a little dirty, so we won't look at that. But let's see. Okay, I'm going to use my really messed up Josie Maran Vibrancy foundation, and the pump is what's messed up about it. The pump is stuck inside of the cap, and so I don't really know what to do about that. So I just take this on the bottom and hope that I don't get too much, because the last couple times I used way too much, and I am a sheer coverage kind of gal. So if I'm looking up this way, it is because that's where my monitor is. So I start in the middle of my face, and you know how to put foundation on, so what I will do is talk about my lupus diagnosis. It was this coming Memorial Day, so in like 5-6 months. I was out at some family property, and it's called the Diggins, because they dug out a man-made lake and everything. They put a cabin there. There are woods. It's the coolest place ever. And I was out in the sun for most of the day, and later that night I ended up like with some pain in my legs, and then I ended up with joint pain in my wrist and my wrists, my knuckles especially, and my toes and my knees, I think. I don't know. This is such a long time ago, I don't remember exactly where the pain was. I just know that it was extreme joint pain. And oh, I love how sheer and how amazing this is. This is in the shade Electric. Just so you know, for reference. I have a lot of lighting going on today. My ring light is like blaring at full blast, but I can't reach it to turn it down, so it's just gonna stay that way. But yeah, I'm taking way longer with this than I should. I'm gonna use the Naked Skin concealer next, and if I can find my Morphe brush, my Morphe Y11 from the Gilded collection, the Gilded set. I don't know if there's a comparable one, but this is the best foundation brush. Like, just the way, the density of it, the fluffiness of it, the tapered, like you can get into the corners. It's just, it's amazing. And I'm going to have a problem here because this doe foot always gets stuck. So, anyway, I don't know why I'm sitting back so far. Yeah, I had this joint pain and I had a rash, and it wasn't like a real rash. It was just, I don't know what it was. It was raised red bumps that didn't itch or anything. So that's why it wasn't like a real rash. It didn't spread, that didn't itch. And I took pictures, which I could insert here, but this was 10.5 years ago, so I didn't have a Motorola Razr, but I had the Sliver, which was the non-flip phone version of the Razr. If any of you even know what a Razr, Motorola Razr is, I had the Sliver, and I'm just going to put a little bit of concealer on because, I don't know, in this light it doesn't look like I need very much. Anyway, I would show pictures, but it's on that phone, and I think that phone is like way, way long gone. But anyway, it was just the weirdest rash. And of course, by the time I get to the doctor, the rash is almost gone. So I have to show them the pictures of it. But with the joint pain, the problem was the joint pain. They couldn't figure that out. And if you look up rash and joint pain, you get lupus as, you know, like the diagnosis or whatever, or one of them. And I was just like, there's no way that I have lupus. I didn't even know what it was, honestly. But I was like, there's no way I have it. And, see, this just gets in here so amazingly well. And blends everything out. But, yeah, doctors wanted to test for that, so they sent me for blood tests. They took 9 vials of blood. Reminds me of Ferris Bueller, 9 times. But, yeah, they took 9 vials of blood, and then nothing. I heard nothing. I was tired all the time, but I thought that it was from, basically, I thought it was from, where is my powder? Oh, it's right here. I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette in Dulce de Leche. And I'm just going to be using the light side and setting my under eyes, which I don't normally do, but I just kind of feel like it today to brighten everything up. So, I was working full-time. I was a single mom. I had a house that, well, my parents owned, but they were renting out to me, so I was having to pay rent and pay, you know, my own insurance. I'd pay for daycare. At this point, I was getting $62.31 a month for child support. That was it. Like, that was it. It was ridiculous. It was nothing helpful, even remotely. So, I'm going to use the Sweet Peach Glow palette for my bronzer and my blush, both. Just to make it easier, because they're both in the same palette, and I like them, and they smell good. But, yeah, so I had a lot of expenses. I had a lot of time. I was working at a bank, and like a lot of time gone from home. I was working at a bank, and my daughter was gone. I had to wake up a half an hour early because her daycare was 20 minutes away. Well, actually, no, I had to wake up an hour early because I had to drive 20 minutes to get to her daycare, and then 20 minutes back to get to my job. And then I had to do the same thing at night. And I worked 5 days a week. I would work every other Saturday. But I was in my 20s, and I wanted to go out all the time. So I did. So I was tired. Of course I was tired. I was overworking myself, and I was going out constantly, you know? So I didn't think anything of it. Well, I don't know, 6 months later, after this rash thing, it turns out that, sorry, I can't blend and think and talk at the same time, apparently. And I use my Real Techniques, whoa, sorry for the focus there, my Real Techniques powder brush for that guy, and I'm about to use my Real Techniques blush brush for the blush, hence the name blush brush. So I was working all the time, yeah, and 6 months later, I went to the doctor for something totally unrelated, completely unrelated, and the nurse said to me, she's like, you know, your lupus test came back positive, and I'm like, huh? For one, there is no lupus test. It's a series of tests and criteria. It's really hard to diagnose. It can be misdiagnosed, and I had a positive test for something, but it didn't mean that I had lupus. So they sent me to a specialist, but it still was just kind of like rude how the nurse said that to me. And then they didn't bother to call me at all to tell me that I had this positive test. So I'm like, okay, great. This is, this is awesome, whatever. I think I'm going to put a little bit of Wet n Wild's Mellow Wine over this, just because I like the color and I feel like the other one isn't showing up a ton, and I like them mixed. I've done it a lot. But I just thought it was rude of the nurse to say it that way. But I don't know, whatever. It's not her fault that the doctors didn't call me. So I go to a specialist, and they take more vials of blood and more vials of blood, and well, first of all, have you guys ever had Surge? It is like, I don't know, comes in this big green can, and it is not available where I live. It is apparently available where I went to school, which was Purdue, and my fiance said that when he used to go down there, because we're basically the same age, I'm 2.5 days older than him, like, basically to the hour. It's funny. I mean, his birthday's 3 days after mine, but it's really 2.5 days because of the times we were born. And anyway, he said he used to go down to Purdue all the time, and he would get surge, and it was just the greatest stuff ever, but we couldn't get it back where, you know, he was from, where we live now, and my hometown. And I don't know, he bought it from Amazon Prime, and we're all drinking it now. It's delicious. It is a citrus flavored soda, which, you know, it's not from here because it says soda, and we call it pop. So anyway, that's what I'm drinking, if you're wondering, which I doubt you are, but it's hot and I'm thirsty in here. So what have I done? I was going to do my brows off camera because I cannot see in this light, and I totally forgot to do it. So yeah, I'm going to pause this real quick, go do my brows, and then I will be right back and finish my story. Okay, so I am back. I have my brows done. They only take like 2 minutes, if that, because I do have them microbladed, but it's just really hard to see what I'm doing with the angles and everything in this monitor. So, and I went in the bathroom, and oh my gosh, do I look like a clown with all of the blush that I have on. These lights wash you out so much. It's ridiculous. I've had the ring light for a long time, like, because I started this channel 4 years ago, and I'll get into that another time, but I posted one video, it got some views, and then I decided to make it private, just because, I don't know, it's just bad quality, and yeah, I just didn't like it. So anyway, where was it going with this? I have no idea. I get off on tangents and I don't know what I'm doing. But, oh, so I think it was for Valentine's Day 2 years ago. Mike got me a ring light, and I was like, so you got me a ring for Valentine's Day, but it's kind of the wrong type of ring. Because I was like desperate to get engaged at that time. And yeah, it wasn't happening. So I know you guys can't see this, but if I'm going to go out in public during the day, I need to fix this before I put setting spray on, which is what I usually do. I do setting spray in steps. So I'm going to use the Scandinavia bridal finishing spray and spritz myself before I do my eyes. But yeah, so back to the original story, was that I just thought I was sick all the time. The doctors forgot to tell me about my tests for my 9 vials of blood, and they also rudely told me that I basically had lupus, even though they had no idea if I had lupus. Crap. Now I have 9 minutes left of battery on my computer, so I have to go get my cord. Oh, help if I could use my mouse. Alright, so I'm back. Sorry for the interruptions. I know they don't really bother you because the video keeps flowing smoothly, but for me, I'm running around like a chicken with its head cut off. So I did lose some of the footage again because I'm a genius and I didn't plug in, like, since MacBooks, the cords are magnetized. I thought I had it like in place, but I didn't have it actually in the spot, and so it was running on 9 minutes, and so I lost, well, probably only about 5 minutes. Yeah, it's telling me right now I have 4 minutes of battery, but I have way more than that. I don't know. I don't understand this thing. But what I did was I put on, I'm using the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I put on the first 3 shades. The first one went on my brow bone, the second one went on my lid, and the third one went in my crease. That's all I've done. And then all I talked about was going into my rheumatologist. That's what the specialist is. I went into his office, and after all my blood tests that I had done again, and basically he came in and was just like, yep, you have lupus. And I'm like, eh? Me? You're telling me that I have lupus? Because that was the exact opposite of what I expected him to say. The exact opposite. And so, yeah, it just kind of blew my mind. But he told me that it was on the back burner and that it wasn't really anything to worry about. That I would just have basic symptoms. And this brush that I'm using, by the way, is a Morphe Y19. I'm just using it for like everything. I don't know. I just like to do that. It makes things easier. I'm like, oh, it'll work for my lid. It'll work for this. It definitely works for the crease. So why not just use it? But and I grabbed another mirror because it makes life easier. So he told me that I would just have symptoms of lupus like depression, fatigue, joint pain, just the basic things. I don't know. I mean, everybody's different. That's the thing with lupus, is that there are no 2 cases that are the same. Like, seriously, we're snowflakes. Like, truly. Like, I have a lot of things that are wrong with me that my doctor's like, I've only ever seen one other patient ever who's had this, you know. So it's just, it's hard to navigate. But so he told me that everything was going to be fine. So I actually ended up losing my job because of it, because I was so tired all the time, and I wasn't motivated, and I was sick, and I called off work, which isn't really like me, but I did it. And so I'm going to move this a little bit. There we go. So anyway, I went and got a different job at B-Dubs as a server, which probably, in hindsight, it wasn't the best idea because it's a really physical job. I just put some more brown in my crease. Now I'm going to put an orangey brown in there. No, yeah, I'll put an orangey brown in there, and then I'll put like a more orangey in. So, I worked at B-Dubs and put it in my outer corner here and then into my crease. I worked at B-Dubs, and then it was like not even 6 months later that I took a full month off of work. My manager was really, really awesome. So, he had another type of autoimmune disease, which is what lupus is. Auto means self, and immune is your immune system. So basically your body attacks itself when it is supposed to be attacking other things. It's busy attacking itself, and it's ignoring the things that it's supposed to attack. and that's why you end up so sick. But oh, my hair today is just, I noticed earlier on a playback to see what I missed that it was like plastered to the top of my head and looked awful. So sorry y'all have to see that. I'll try and get a little closer here. But my boss was really great about it. But then finally I did put in my notice and say, well, not even notice, I just said, I haven't worked for the past month, I'm not going to work anymore. So I was getting really, really sick. I was having to take, like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to go under my eye with everything that I did on top of my eye. What was I saying? I don't know. I can't do two things at once. I don't know how people do this. But anyway, he said that, I ended up getting really, really sick. I was taking a bunch of Vicodin just to make it through my shifts, and it just wasn't a good thing at all. I'm like, this can't be healthy. I ended up being sick for a freaking year and a half. It was ridiculous. Like, I had to go on steroids to stop the flare, which is what it is. It's like a lupus, your symptoms flare up really badly. And I don't know. It just was a bad experience. And so I haven't worked a real job since. I've done writing. I'm a published author. I did get a novel published. I've written my second novel, but I have to work on edits, and I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that I have to change in it. But a goal for 2018 is, I don't do resolutions really, I do goals. I guess they're the same thing, but it just makes it sound a little bit better. And yeah, so I wrote a book. I wrote from home a lot. I wrote for websites. I wrote for a blog. I edited. I can never say that word. It's like it's my job, but I can't say it. I edited a large writing website and was in charge of all the writers and everything. But yeah, that basically sums up how I got diagnosed with lupus, and then how it's affected me since has just been, I haven't been able to live on my own. I had to move back in with my parents, and now I'm living with my fiance, and it's been tough. It's not the easiest thing, but it's also, I'm going to put some shimmer on my lid just for the fun of it. See what it does. It's also taught me the importance of really everything. Ooh, that is pretty. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can see that, but compared to the other eye, that is so pretty. I heard this palette was great, but I didn't know. So far, I'm absolutely loving it. Yeah, so it's tough because I can't do certain things with my kid, but I have a good support system, and like I said, I've learned what's important. And what is important is, I'm going to use just a different Morphe blending brush here. And what's really important is the relationships that you have in your life, the people, the time you spend, the time that you will give to people, because I'm not going to give my time when I only have so much time that I feel good to people who are going to bring me down or cause me problems, or, you know, it's just, because I have people like that in my life. Everybody does. But yeah, I don't want to deal with it anymore. See, like I said, that's going to be a really basic eye look. So now I've done my bronzer, blush, eyes. I still need to do eyeliner, mascara, and highlighter, and lips. But then I will be done and out of your hair, so. For mascara, I'm going to use this amazing, beautiful, look at it, look at it, I love it. I got it at CVS, and it's from the brand Beauty 360, but they don't sell it anymore. I've checked online, and they don't sell it anymore. But it's just a really, really, like, I bought it just for the packaging. I bought one and sent one to my friend also. But it's just, it's incredible, this wand. I don't know why it's not really focusing the way it should, but yeah. This camera has amazing autofocus, and it's not seeming to do its job. So I don't really know what's going on. But I'm just going to put this on the tips of my lashes because it is Sunday, and well, really that's pretty much what I do most every day, because I end up making a complete mess if I like go down to the base and do the zigzag wiggly motion that everybody else does. My lashes are just too long for that. So, and I used to curl them, but now I do the worst thing that you can do for your lashes, and I will sometimes curl them after I have mascara on. But I'm really careful about it and make sure that the mascara is, you know, completely dried by that point. This is just going to be a natural look today. Get my bottom lashes here. This isn't the best mascara for bottom lashes, I will have to say. It might just be dried out. But I'm not going to be doing anything today. I'm just going to be sitting around the house, so I don't really care. Where did I put the mascara? Here it is. Okay, so that is what my eyes ended up looking like. Very, very basic, just crease colors. And then my cheeks, like, if I look in a regular mirror, I actually was able to blend it out so the blush doesn't look ridiculous, but it was just a stripe, like, right up here. And the bronzer was really, really bad. I still have definition here, but that kind of is always there, so. Did I already say that, or is that part that got cut out? I don't really know. Anyway, I'm going to tightline. I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs Crayon Gel, the Highliner, that's what it's called, to tightline and do my waterline. Waterline's going to be a little bit difficult. Because of the lack of mirror. But whatever. If it shows up, it shows up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The whole point of this was just to, I don't know, get the first part of my lupus story. Focus, please. I will be talking about lupus more because that's what this channel was created for. It was initially created for people who, and it still says that on the channel, I need to change it. It was initially created for people who are sick and kind of quote-unquote lazy because they're sick and want to be able to have some tips and tricks for doing things quicker and easier, and to, because if you look better, you feel better. I mean, it's the stupidest thing ever, but it's the truth. So, I don't know. I guess makeup, that's why I like it so much. It just, I mean, I've always liked it, but I've really liked it, you know, ever since I got sick. And when I was on steroid for so long, I had the worst dark circles, and nothing covered it up better. And this was in my favorites of 2017. It'll be my favorites of every year video. This Bobbi Brown corrector, I have mine in the shade Porcelain Bisque, and nothing covered my dark circles like this stuff did. It was just, I don't know, it's just the most amazing stuff in the entire world. I was going to use it today, but I forgot. The last thing I'm going to do today is, well, first of all, I'm going to spray my face, and then I'm going to do highlighter as it is getting a little tacky. But the highlighter I'm going to use is this little guy in a cute little clamshell. It is the Chaos Makeup Technicolor highlighter. And it looks like this. This is also in my favorites. And it's just, it's basically their rainbow highlighter, but they swirled it, they like put all the pieces together and like mixed them all up. And I don't know, it just comes across as clear, and when it hits the light, it's like blinding. And it's just gorgeous. So I'm going to use my Bella Pierre fan brush number 27, which I have never used with this highlighter before, so we'll see what it does. I usually use a Real Techniques setting brush for this step, or at least for this particular highlighter. And I get a little bit under my brow bone because I used a matte brow bone shade. So just to mix it all in there together. See, when you're looking at it straight on, well, yeah, it's catching, the light's catching it a little bit. It's a lot more intense without these bright lights. I might have to turn it down at the end of the video. And see what's going on. There, I can see again. Alright. Yeah, right there. You can also see the texture on my face, but that's okay. A little bit just down my nose. I like to do the whole C thing right here, and then I put it down my nose, and then on my Cupid's bow than my chin. And my lashes look like crapola. I can actually see now. There was something going on with my monitor that I wasn't able to see when I was doing my eyeliner. Well, how if I turned it up so I could actually use it? I don't know how I just made that mess. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. Sort of. There's still that delay, which is driving me nuts. But, oh well. Let's look in the mirror real quick and see what it looks like. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got this. And the last thing is my Ofra in Pasadena. This is my favorite lipstick because it is the perfect, I have 2 tubes of it. This is the perfect My Lips But Better for me. Like, see, I'm putting it on and it doesn't even necessarily look like I'm doing anything except maybe amplifying the pigment a little bit. Get my baby Cupid's bow. A little baby upper lip. I don't know if I'd ever get fillers. If I did, I would only get it right in the middle, like right in my Cupid's bow, you know, just to push that up and plump it up a little bit. But anyway, I will have another lupus story for another day. This is the finished, just basic everyday look. And I hope you stuck through the whole story. I hope you enjoyed. I hope the interruptions weren't annoying. And I really, really appreciate you watching because this is something, of course, really close to my heart. So, yeah, I appreciate anyone who stuck through. Anybody who even watched a little bit of it. It just means the world to me. So, I guess I will do another one of these coming up and tell you a little more about what is going on with me now, 10 years later. But that was how I was diagnosed. And like I said, there is no test. It just was blood tests and then criteria. So anyway, that'll be all for today. I'm going to go have some breakfast, and I hope you have a great, what is this going to be? Today's Sunday for me. It will be Tuesday for you, so I hope you're having a good week. And yeah, hope everything is good wherever you are in the world. So bye. Peace out.